But but wait, I I thought Deku was supposed to just after everything he was just gonna put the fries in the bag and he would equate to nothing after the battle and he would just be fall into obscurity because he wasn't a hero anymore. And that's how dumb some of those complaints sounded. What's up, guys? It's that guy Tommy, and I love My Hero Academia. If you don't know, you should by now. I'm a huge anime nerd, all the way back into the '90s. Old school Sailor Moon, old school Dragon Ball Z, Voltron, Speed Racer, G-Force Battle of the Planets, whichever one you want to call it. I am an old school anime head from the early '90s. Before we even called it anime, I was watching it. Um, and My Hero is easily one of the best that's come out in the past few years, or and ever actually. It was altogether. It was just a really solid venture and story. Really diving into that whole superhero mythos, like akin to Justice League, Avengers, and with a lot of X-Men ideology thrown in, which I thoroughly appreciated. So now what we have here is My Hero Academia final season more official trailer from Crunchyroll. Um, it's My Hero Academia. I really don't mind what it is. Oh, Vigilante is pretty good too. I'm so catching up on that so far. But now let's check this out.
僕は今やりたいことをやれてる。この上なく恵まれてる。いい加減もうちょいてめえを高く見積もんねえと気づけるもんも気づけねえぞ。我ら元遊泳ヒーローか乾杯。
乾杯。
以外にも俺ってもうあるんだって気づいた。
それぞれが選んだ道を尊重して笑い合う。それはとても贅沢で。
自分でも気づかなかった自分。
でももっと。
Oh. Give me a second. Okay. Okay. There was a brief little moments there, but since we have time, trailer breakdown. So let's start off with let's start off with this. Right now, I'm living the life I want, and this is, and I'm happier than I could imagine. Let's discuss this. Deku himself said how much it meant to just to be a teacher at UA. You know, just to be a teacher, but then his friends cared so much about him that they put together a whole Iron Man suit, essentially, to let him keep being a professional hero. I think this is the part of the anime, the story, the manga, all of it that people missed. Yes, it was about Deku. There's no denying that about Deku and everything. Him get Shigaraki and all that kind of stuff. But like a lot of anime, and a lot of anime do this, and I mean this in a good way, it's not just about him, but it's about the connections of the people around him. And even All Might said, this is a gift from your whole class, with, I think he said Bakugo spearheading the endeavor. To spear through the head of Endeavor probably would have helped a lot of things in that anime situation. But that's neither here nor there. I know I'm kidding. Endeavor's trying to do better, but look, I can't give him a pass just because he's trying to do better now. A lot of this plot could have been avoided had that man just been a better father. Anyway, moving on from that point. Just be a better father. I just described half of Greek mythology. Zeus. Anyway, the ending for My Hero was by far one of the most poignant I'd ever seen, one of the best I'd ever seen, one of the most bookends of a story I'd ever seen. Because to me, it felt like it was really capping off the series as it should have. Deku, once again, yes, he did it on his own, but at the same time, his influence influenced other people. Just like it did with Bakugo way back in the day. Bakugo even admitted he was jealous because Deku would never give up. He didn't have a quirk. That didn't stop him from trying to be a good guy. That's why he got All for One in the first place. All Might saw a kid with no powers still just trying to do the right thing. And at the end of the day, him still doing the right thing, teaching at UA, and people seeing that was like, you know what, he's still doing the right thing, still trying to be, let's let him be the hero he's still being in his own way. So right now he said he's living the life he wants, he's happy that he could imagine, because he's still living that life that he has earned. That's something else I think people miss about this whole anime. He earned this outcome. There was no gift to it. And even if you say he was given, All for One, he had to clean that whole beach. I remember. Does anyone even remember those first few episodes where he had to clean that whole beach by himself? That All Might told him, if you don't clean this beach, I will not give you All for. And by morning, he was tired. He was stressed. He was screaming at the top of his lungs, probably from exhaustion and pain. But that's why he earned it. He earned it by training with it, learning new styles and everything. He earned this ending. He earned a happy ending. And going a little, and things like this. But seriously, you need to start thinking more highly. I can't wait to hear this whole conversation. I legitimately cannot. And Bakugo really does seem like that friend who's. I want to know how fast his car is going. Well, because look, why is Deku sunk so far into the chair? This car must be booking it down the street. But no, I can't wait to see this interaction, see this conversation, because Bakugo really is like that friend who you're like, I cannot trust you to not explode in the situation. In his case, literally. But there is also no one else you would want to have your back in a fight. Bakugo still beat One for All. That's canon. That's canon. Bakugo beat One for All. Hey. Can you do better than that? I don't think you can. So it's good to see the old gang back together, though, man. This really makes my heart happy. And thinking highly, I'm sure there's a lot of reasons or things. I wonder if Uraraka is part of this conversation. Again, one of my diehard ships. I have two diehard ships in My Hero, them and Shoto and Momo. Those are my diehard ships for My Hero. I don't really have any others, I don't think. Yeah, I think it's just those two that I like. I'm diehard shipper of those individual ones I just mentioned. After graduating from you at high school, or you're never gonna notice stuff that you really ought to. This is about Uraraka. There's no way this is not about Uraraka. I refuse to believe it's not. Okay, so this is just obviously just so cool to me. I for a world like My Hero, I do want to know the science, as the show could explain it, behind his suit. I would love to know that, because I would love to know. I like comic book science, like oh, this matter and this matter may make this matter, and and then an antimatter and gamma energy and which in real life physics none of this stuff does or even exists, but I like it for comic and manga stuff. I love it. They're out there doing their thing. We were former. They're basically a graduated class of Avengers. And I'm okay with that. They're the high school graduate Justice League. Cool. Oh, it's Sparkly Naval guy. Why can't I remember names right now? Oh, he's with everybody. That makes me happy. And there's more to me as a person than just my ambitions. I do want to see more of Shoto growing up to be his own man, not just how do I explain it? I want to see more of Shoto just becoming more of his own, and no, don't get me wrong. We saw plenty of that in the series. I'm not saying at all that we didn't, because we did. We saw plenty of that in the series, especially him going up against, his dad, calling out his dad in certain instances, trying to save his brother and everything. I just want to see more, because I really did love his character growth, character development, and his character story to begin with. His character story was so interesting to me. It overshadowed Deku a few times in my mind. It was almost like it wasn't like it was almost like, and maybe it was intended to be this. It didn't. I never thought that Bakugo was the opposite side of that coin for Deku, and I didn't even think Shigaraki was. I always thought it was Shoto. I always thought Shoto was the other side of what Deku thought he was missing out on, because Shoto had both parents. He had a quirk and was considered really powerful with it. But look at all he went through. I feel like those are the two sides of that coin that people that people didn't notice. That's what I think. Anyway, I could be wrong. This is getting a lot deeper into a discussion of My Hero than there was about react to the trailer. So let's keep going. How do I have a one? How's this a less than a minute trailer? And I've been going for almost for over 11 minutes. Okay. So we respected each other's goals with a smile. Okay. So oh, Mina's my favorite character, who I know got everybody in trouble over some stuff that like like if I feel like if there was like hood related activities, Mina would be responsible for it. Just my feeling. It's just my feeling. Parts of myself that I never really noticed before. You know what? You know what I get the feeling of that this is going to be? I feel like this is just going to be a feel-good wrap up for the series, just a heartwarming wrap up for the series, just so everyone can, get sign off with a even more fuzzy feelings and smiles on their faces and everything like that. And by the way, I am 3,000% okay with that, because I like those kind of endings when they're done well. There are some series that can't have those endings, right? There are some series and story types that can't have the happy ending where everyone's smiling and everything worked out in the end, right? There's some that just can't have that, and that's okay. That's the point of variety in fiction. You can have stories like that, but at the same time, My Hero did not have a happy-go-lucky ending. It had a happy ending where things mostly worked out, but it wasn't without cost. There was no perfect ending of this story, and it was never going to have that, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing. It had so many layers of an ending that I think it did in a very, very strong, not too negative, not too positive way. Okay, so it leaned more towards the positive side, but I don't think it was too overly positive, if you get what I mean. Like, it was definitely more on the positive side, but it didn't ignore the fact that there were the undertones of the negative there. One thing that sticks out to me, kind of with seeing Toga in Uraraka's, I'm assuming in her mind, I think of when Deku was at the end of the last episode of the series, when he was flying off with the others using Black Whip, and he saw an image of Shigaraki watching him go off go off with his friends, right? That tells me that, yes, it's a good ending, it's a happy ending. Everyone's, yeah, we're together again. We're gonna keep being heroes, but the phantom of what happened will never be gone. That stress will always be there, and I'm not saying at all that's a good thing. Sometimes you need stories like that keep in mind that you're gonna have those moments, right? That yeah, everything is cool, but there will be moments when it's not, because that's also life. That's life. Some moments are not always going to be good because of things that we've gone through. You're going to remember them sometimes because that's just how our brains are wired. But that doesn't mean life ain't good. It just means that sometimes, hey, things. And there's still problems in the hero and villain community, and with the quirks that aren't exactly normal. And like the regular woman is one of the people I think of, the dinosaur looking lady that Deku saved. One of my favorite side characters, by the way, is her and Lady Nagant. And so I feel like the happy ending of My Hero is very, very warranted, very good, very deserved, very earned, but it's not overly happy because it's not saying those other problems don't exist. It's saying that this is a happy ending and the adventures will continue, and in your own mind, in your own imagination, how do they continue? What happens next? Again, that's why fanfictions exist. By the way, check out fanfiction.net, T2 Angel, and archive of our own, Raven T2. That's me, that's that guy Tommy. Check him out. Links are in the description down below. Anyway, I haven't anything for My Hero yet, but God knows if I'll ever get to that. I have so much other stuff to finish writing with. But no, this looks great. I'm very much looking forward to this. I'm very much looking forward to seeing where they, or like how this is gonna end and everything. It's just I feel like I said, I feel like this is just a feel good piece. Get some emotions in there. See how our favorite class is doing and where they're gonna go from here. Just keep being heroes. And you know what? I'm cool with that. Cool with them being the heroes that they have earned the right to be, that they deserve to be, because they went through so much and they put it all on the line, and they really worked to make it all happen, to win that battle against Shigaraki and the villains, and they did. Not without cost, not without pain, not without some suffering, but they did. And that's, to me, that's what makes them heroes. Is that they knew they went through so much and they kept going anyway. So that's enough out of me. What did you guys think? What did you guys get from the trailer? Are you looking forward to it? What are your thoughts on My Hero overall? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Is it in your top favorite anime? I don't think it's in my top 10. It might be. It's probably my top 20 for sure. I got to do a list of my top favorite anime one day. It's gonna take. I got to really think about that before I ever do that though. But yeah. So let me know what you guys think. Ooh, goodness! In the comments down below. Do not forget to like the video, share the video. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel. And click that bell to be notified when I stay live. As of this recording, I am still working my way through Final Fantasy 12, The Zodiac Age, and God of War 2018. So hit that bell to know when I'm going live on YouTube with the stream. And of course, follow me on all the socials there. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you watching. Thank you for taking your time out to watch this with me, react to the trailer. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Be good to yourselves. Be good to each other. You go out in this crazy world. Just be good people. Catch you next time. Minasan, sayonara. Peace. What's up, guys? Thanks for checking out the video. Really appreciate you. You guys are wonderful. You're stupendous. You're magnanimous. It's a great word, isn't it? Magnanimous. Anyway, thanks for watching. Keep on the lookout for more. Follow me on all my socials. And if you're on YouTube, be sure to like, favorite, and subscribe. That really helps me out. Thank you guys so much for checking me out, checking out the videos, and get ready for more coming down the pipe, because you never know what's coming next. See you guys soon. Peace. I think that was pretty good.